14 Reasons to Hate Football, the Dark Side of the Beautiful Game. Are you tired of hearing how amazing football is? While millions adore the sport, there are plenty of reasons to feel differently. Dive into our controversial yet eye-opening list of the top 14 reasons why football might just be the worst. From ridiculous fan behavior to corruption scandals, we've got it all covered. Get ready to see the other side of the beautiful game. 1. Fan violence. The passion often spills over into violence, turning matches into dangerous battlegrounds. Football has a long history of fan violence, from infamous hooliganism in England to deadly riots in South America. This ugly side of the sport can make attending matches a perilous affair. The clashes between rival fans, often fueled by alcohol and intense emotions, can lead to severe injuries and even fatalities. For example, the 1985 Heysel Stadium disaster in Belgium, where 39 fans died and over 600 were injured, is a grim reminder of how deadly fan violence can be. These incidents tarnish the sport's reputation and create an environment of fear and hostility, making it unsafe for families and peace-loving spectators. 2. Corruption scandals. From FIFA controversies to match fixing, the sport has a dirty underbelly. The beautiful game has been marred by numerous corruption scandals that have rocked its foundations. The FIFA corruption scandal of 2015 revealed widespread bribery and corruption at the highest levels of the sport's governing body, leading to multiple arrests and convictions. Match-fixing scandals, such as the Calciopoli scandal in Italy, where top clubs were found guilty of influencing referees, undermine the integrity of the game. These scandals reveal a dark side where greed and dishonesty overshadow the spirit of fair competition. Fans are left questioning the legitimacy of results, eroding their trust in the sport. 3. Diving and cheating. Players faking injuries to gain unfair advantages can be infuriating, known as diving or simulation. This practice involves players exaggerating or feigning injury to deceive referees into awarding free kicks or penalties. It's not just unsportsmanlike, it can change the course of crucial matches. Famous players, including some of the best in the world, have been guilty of this, leading to widespread frustration among fans. This tactic undermines the values of honesty and integrity that sports are supposed to uphold. The sight of a player rolling on the ground in apparent agony, only to spring back to life after a decision is made, is infuriating for those who value fair play. 4. Obscene wages. The astronomical salaries of top players contrast sharply with global poverty. Footballers at the highest level earn eye-watering sums, with contracts worth hundreds of millions of dollars. For example, Lionel Messi's transfer to Paris Saint-Germain reportedly includes a salary of over $41 million per year, not including bonuses and endorsements. While these players have exceptional talent, the disparity between their earnings and those of average workers or even other professional athletes is staggering. This wealth gap becomes even more glaring when considering global poverty and inequality. It's difficult to reconcile the sight of multimillionaire footballers with the struggles of people living in poverty, even in the cities where these clubs are based. This obscene level of wealth can also lead to a disconnect between players and their communities. 5. Over-commercialization. Endless advertisements and sponsorships take away from the purity of the game. Football has become a massive commercial enterprise, with clubs and players endorsing everything from soft drinks to luxury cars. Stadiums are plastered with advertisements, and broadcasts are interrupted by commercial breaks. The over-commercialization extends to the relentless branding and marketing that surrounds the sport. Football clubs are now global brands, focusing as much on selling merchandise as on winning matches. This commercial focus can detract from the sport itself, turning matches into mere marketing opportunities. The influx of corporate sponsors and the renaming of historic stadiums after brands further alienate traditional fans who long for the days when the game was about pure competition and community spirit. 6. Ticket prices. Sky-high ticket prices make it hard for ordinary fans to attend matches. As football clubs chase higher revenues, ticket prices have soared, putting live matches out of reach for many loyal fans. For example, a ticket to a Premier League match can cost upwards of PS 100, making it unaffordable for families or those on lower incomes. This pricing strategy not only excludes dedicated fans, but also diminishes the atmosphere in stadiums, as the passionate local supporters are replaced by tourists and corporate guests. The escalating cost of attending matches has sparked protests and boycotts from fan groups who feel that the soul of the sport is being sold out. The tradition of football being a working-class sport is being eroded, with clubs prioritizing profits over accessibility for their most ardent supporters. 7. Unfair officiating. Refereeing mistakes can change the outcome of crucial matches, leading to frustration. Despite advancements like VAR, video assistant referee, controversy still surrounds officiating in football. Human error and subjective decisions can lead to game-changing mistakes, such as disallowed goals, incorrect penalties, or missed fouls. These errors can cost teams titles and fans sleepless nights. For instance, the infamous handball goal by Diego Maradona in the 1986 World Cup, known as the Hand of God, remains one of the most contentious moments in football history. Even with VR, debates rage over its consistency and the impact on the flow of the game. Unfair officiating leaves fans feeling cheated and questioning the fairness of the sport, diminishing their enjoyment and trust. 8. Team rivalries. Intense rivalries can foster animosity and bad behavior among fans. Football's greatest rivalries, such as El Clasico between Real Madrid and Barcelona, or the Old Firm Derby between Celtic and Rangers, often bring out the worst in fan behavior. These matches are marked by intense hostility, with fans hurling insults, throwing objects, and even engaging in physical altercations. The media hype surrounding these rivalries only adds fuel to the fire, creating an atmosphere of tension and aggression. This animosity can spill over into everyday life, affecting relationships and communities. While rivalries add excitement to the sport, the negative behavior they incite can be detrimental. 9. Injuries. The physical toll on players can be severe, with long-term health implications. Football is a physically demanding sport, and injuries are an unfortunate but common aspect of the game. From torn ligaments to concussions, the injuries sustained on the pitch can have lasting effects on players' careers and lives. Some players face repeated injuries, leading to chronic pain and early retirement. The pressure to perform and the intense competition can drive players to push through pain, exacerbating their injuries. The long-term health consequences, including arthritis and mobility issues, are a grim reality for many retired players. The sport's physical demands and the resulting injuries highlight a darker side of football that is often overshadowed by the glamour and fame. 10. Overhyped players. Media hype can elevate players to unrealistic levels of stardom. The football world is no stranger to overhyped players, where media and fan expectations soar to unrealistic heights. Young talents are often burdened with labels like the next Messi or the new Ronaldo, creating immense pressure and scrutiny. While some players thrive under this spotlight, many struggle to meet the exaggerated expectations, leading to disappointment and criticism. The media frenzy can also inflate transfer fees and salaries, further widening the gap between football's elite and the rest. This overhyping distorts the reality of a player's abilities and can hinder their development and mental well-being. 11. Environmental impact. Major tournaments and constant travel leave a significant carbon footprint. Football's global nature requires extensive travel for teams, fans, and officials, contributing to a substantial carbon footprint. Major tournaments like the World Cup and the UEFA Champions League involve thousands of flights, hotel stays, and resource consumption. The construction of new stadiums and infrastructure for these events also has a significant environmental impact. While some clubs and organizations are taking steps to reduce their carbon footprint, the overall environmental cost of maintaining such a global sport is considerable. The sport's impact on climate change is an important issue that needs more attention and action. 12. Racism. Racial abuse from fans and players alike continues to be a serious issue. Despite numerous campaigns and initiatives to combat racism, it remains a pervasive problem in football. Players of color frequently face racial abuse from fans, both in stadiums and online. Incidents of monkey chants, racist banners, and social media harassment are all too common. High-profile cases, such as the racial abuse of England players after the Euro 2020 final, highlight the deep-seated issues within the sport. Racism in football reflects broader societal problems, but the sport has a unique platform to drive change. More effective measures and a stronger commitment to diversity and inclusion are needed to tackle this issue. 13. Sexism. Women in football, whether players or fans, often face discrimination and disrespect. The world of football has long been dominated by men, and sexism remains a significant barrier for women. Female players receive less media coverage, lower salaries, and fewer opportunities compared to their male counterparts. Women working in football media or management often face sexist attitudes and harassment. Female fans can also experience discrimination and feel unwelcome in certain environments. The success of women's football is growing, with increasing visibility and support, but there is still a long way to go in achieving gender equality in the sport. Addressing sexism in football requires a cultural shift and systemic changes to create a more inclusive environment. 14 unpredictable outcomes. For some, the unpredictability and upsets make it hard to enjoy the sport consistently. Football is known for its unpredictable nature, where underdogs can triumph and giants can fall. While this unpredictability is a source of excitement for many, it can also be a source of frustration for others. Fans invest emotionally and financially in their teams, and unexpected losses can lead to disappointment and distress. The unpredictable outcomes make it difficult for fans to consistently enjoy the sport, as the highs and lows can be extreme. This roller coaster of emotions can be exhausting and detract from the overall enjoyment of the game. As we celebrate the passion and unity that football brings, we must also advocate for change and improvement within the sport. By addressing these critical issues, we can work towards making football a more inclusive, fair, and enjoyable experience for everyone. Whether you're a die-hard fan or a casual observer, understanding the complexities and challenges within football can lead to a more profound appreciation and a call for progress in the beautiful game. Like, comment, and subscribe.